Hi there everybody, this is Animatron, and I'm doing an Empyrion Galactic Survival Reforged Eden 2 video on how to make money quickly in the game. In some instances you do not need to have a CV as long as there is a trading post, specifically Polaris, in the system that you're in, and you have the ability to warp to it or fly to it. In the system that I'm in right now, I'm actually in Polaris sector. So if I go to the map, you can see that I'm in the Forge, the Polaris Forge. And if I go to the solar system map, you can see that there is a station in the orbit around the sun. This particular white one means that it belongs to Polaris because it's inside of their system. And it will have usually, not always, but usually several different stations, including an orbital refinery. The orbital refinery is one of the locations where you can find the item that you need in order to make lots of money. So we will click on this, lock the target, and head over. Let's see, where is it at? Is it behind me? Yeah, it's behind me to the left. My ship is a little sluggish because I have an exceptional amount of mass. Do something real quick and get rid of the markers. There we go. Alrighty then. So there are the stations that belong to Polaris. And if you don't already know, which some of you might not know, the color of the words indicates the race or faction it belongs to, in which case orange is Polaris. Darker blue is the colonists, light blue is the traders, red is Xerax, and yellowish is the pirates. There's a couple other races, but we won't get into that right now. Right now we just want to get to the stations. Another little tidbit that some of you may or may not know is you can turn off the thrusters in space by pressing I, and allows you to cruise at the same speed that you were going when you were holding down whatever key is used in your system to make you go forward. On the right, you'll see an orbital refinery, security office, left is distribution center. Distribution center and the orbital refinery, you can get the item that we're going to look for, in which case it's called a mining contract. I have one in my inventory right here. This is the one we want later on in game. This is the one we get early in game. The marker, the symbol of the gem on it is Pentax, but it indicates a high-ranking mining contract mission. We're going to go to the top section of the refinery, where those yellow lights were at, and park. Get out, pardon me, girls. Go inside the upper dock to the left rear side. There's a gentleman standing there with a yellow arrow over his head. Talk to him. Tell him you want a mining contract. Do you have any mining contracts available? Why, yes, I do. I accept. Give the contract. Thank you. Goodbye. Now it says up in the upper left, Pentax, Zascosium, and Aluminum. I personally am not a fan of these later on in the game. I prefer to have the rich ice because it gives me things that I really need in order to complete other tasks. So I'm going into my cargo box that I keep my contracts in, and I'll throw a couple of those in there. Probably end up giving them to friends. I've got 1, 2, 3 rich ice contracts which I'll use. These blue ones belong to the colonists, And every time you complete a contract, not only do you get to keep the minerals that you mine, but once you complete the contract, you will get money based upon how valuable the contract is. This one with a rock in it, that's obviously the copper rock. This one is the promethium rock. This one is the iron rock. These aren't worth a whole lot of money. I believe the lowest is 120,000 and the highest is 180,000. These two right here, the Pentax Zascosium Aluminum, these are worth 180,000 credits. And when you're starting the game, that's a lot of money. But the Rich Ice asteroid mining contracts, they are worth 1.2 million. The kicker is you need to have a special tool in order to make those accessible or reachable, basically. So I will give you an idea of what that looks like. In your constructor, under weapons for your ship, you won't find this for an SV, you only find it for a CV. You'll find Rich Ice. Now normally in most people's inventory, this will be locked because you have to have a schematic in order to get that. This is the Rich Asteroid mining. And I didn't need to do that, but it did it anyway. And if you go to the Universal Constructor, which you should have on every large ship, and you do exactly the same thing, and you go all the way down to where those are at, you'll see an extra one that's in there, a little bit bigger. This one requires extra things like protonium powder and large advanced focusing lens. This one operates a lot faster than the other one. If you look at the bottom underneath protonium powder and craft time, it says damage 120. Up at the top it says will automatically mine out any dense or rich asteroids within range and set to target following NPC factions, prey, bases, and warp drives. All three of these do exactly the same thing, except for the ice mining drills, which will only mine ice. It will attempt to mine the rich asteroids, but it will only mine ice. Again, we are still in a Polaris station area, and we are now going to go over to the distribution center and do exactly the same thing. In this center is where you can actually attain, via quest if you so desire, the ability to purchase the schematics, both the Rich Ice and the Rich Asteroid schematics. The Rich Ice schematics, after you complete the quest, is only 1 million credits. The Rich Asteroid mining contract is 3 million credits. This is the gentleman that you will find when you get the contract or the quest up called the Forge. It's in the list under solo missions. I can already talk to him because I've completed the quest. These are the mining schematics he's got. The standard ice mining drills and the Rich Asteroid mining drills. That includes the heavy duty one that does way more damage to the asteroids than this one does. Notice it's 3 million for the Rich Asteroid, 1 million for the ice mining. You will get a discount if you're honored with the Polaris. The Advanced Industrial Mining Rig, unless you're really wanting it badly, I wouldn't advise buying it. I wouldn't advise buying the actual rig itself. You could buy the auto mining cores because you do need them to create the ice mining drills. 1 per. You can have a maximum of 12 drills on your ship at one time. Both types, the ice mining and the Rich Asteroid, are using up the same 12 slots. So I prefer to have one or the other. When I'm starting, I always use the ice mining drills because you need the deuterium in order to create the deuterium fuel cells that the Rich Asteroid mining drills operate off of. Now, since we're in here, we turn left after this guy, go into the ore and ice section, talk to this guy over here, the UIM representative, and he'll say the same thing as the guy that was in the orbital refinery. And you say, do you have any mining contracts? I accept the contract. And what you're looking for, again, like I said, is the Rich Ice, which is what I just got. So now I have 4 Rich Ice asteroid contracts. Later on in another video, I'll show you about mining. This gentleman over here, he buys deuterium, which you're going to get from the rich ice and dense ice asteroid zones. The rich ice asteroid contract requires you to get rich ice asteroids. The dense ice asteroids are prevalent everywhere else in space, open space, specifically D-class and M-class stars. Those are the cold ones. If you go to Solitude, like it says on the details portion of this, it will complete the first portion of the contract when you open it up. Once you find a D or M class sector in the Solaris or the Solitude area, it will show you a light blue asteroid field. The one that has an exclamation point inside of a small upside down light blue triangle is a different type of sector, and you could go there, but you're unlikely to find the rich ice asteroids. So if I take this now and I go into my PDA and I go to solo missions and I go down to mining contracts, you can see contracts right there. If I go to contracts, I have a rich ice asteroid contract. I can activate this mission. I can also go back to the same section and activate a different one. So if you look in the upper left hand corner, I'll put this in a dark area so you can see it. It says underneath the temperature and the radiation, mining contract iron. The one I was doing earlier was one of these. Notice I have one, but it didn't show it in the PDA. That's because I got onto different solo contracts. So in order to reactivate it, you can pick it up, place it back down again, and it makes a sound in the background. Then go to your PDA, go back down, and you'll see where it says mining contract copper silicon. I can go back and resume mission. Sometimes it'll only say activate, but if you look in the upper left, it'll show you that I've already mined out the copper and I still need to mine out the silicon. This is the end of this display. This is the easiest way for you to make money. The only thing you need to have on your ship is a mining turret. You can do it with either a hard point, or you can do it with the actual turret. This is my turret on my ship. It's a standard mining turret, dual function. It can take apart ships or buildings, and it can mine asteroids. It can only work for mining in space. It cannot work on the planet. If you get a hard point, it will do the same thing, but it focuses in a specific area. I also have hard point mining drills on my SV, and I also had a handheld laser drill that I'd use in the beginning before I got enough materials to make this boy. So get back in my ship. Oh, might as well show you my little SV. It's a cheesy little piece of crap. The light blue is the mining drills. The two on the bottom are my medium Gatling turret or Gatling guns. That's for taking out bulkheads on CVs and SVs that I've attacked with my big ship out in space, and the core still exists. This prevents me from dying, but on to bigger and better things. So let's see, is there anything in this sector? No, there is not. So we will go over to one of the other ones that actually has silicon in it. That one has titanium, iron, cobalt, neodymium. Neodymium is a really good way to make money. So if you've got some mining tool on whatever ship that you're on and you get neodymium, you can take it to the orbital refinery that I showed you earlier. Let's see. That one right there. You can take it to the orbital refinery, take it to the upper deck, the upper dock, and sell the neodymium to the guy that gave me the contract. Neodymium can be stacked in amounts of 4,000 depending upon the server that you're on. Some servers have higher stack amounts, but the one I'm on, the stack amount is 4,000. If I go into my inventory where I keep all of my minerals at, you can see I've got stacks of 4,000 in a variety of different items. I currently don't have any neodymium inside my inventory because I've sold it all or used it all. I do have it in my main input right there. That's neodymium. If you take 8,000 neodymium to a orbital refinery, you can get as much as 500,000 credits with 8,000 units, 250,000 credits with 4,000 units. It's a really easy way to make money fast. So if you'd like to do the Forge quest, which is located in the PDA, let's see, Expeditions, there it is. Under Expeditions, the very first one is the Forge. And you can see on the bottom here it says mission already completed. This is a really good one to do. The requirement for this one is that you have 3 million credits in your bank account in order to start it, and at least a neutral reputation with Polaris. We start out with, in most servers, with a friendly reputation, but I did start on one server that it was a neutral reputation. I could do this quest, and once you do it, you get enough rep back just from completing the quest in order to get Polaris up to friendly. I currently have Polaris at honored. So, you know the rest. Go out and mine, make some money, get more contracts until you get bored with them. Work your faction friendliness up to where you want it. I'm still working with the colonists and the Trade Federation and trying to get them up to honored. The Brotherhood of Far is a little more difficult. There is one quest for that. I'll do that in another video. Until then, have a great day.